So, what we're gonna do real quick is I'm gonna share my screen. The first thing we're gonna do is just finish the Brown Girl Dreaming assignment, basically. If you've already turned it in, you can still type on it. You just need to eye check it a different way, but you can still type on it and fill out your stuff. So we're gonna go to Google Classroom and open up the Brown Girl Dreaming Student Edition and let that open up. So I'll give you guys a minute to get there real quick. Alrighty, so Brown Girl Dreaming, get it pulled up. Once you're there, go ahead and just let me know, type down in the chat just so I know that you're there with me. Or say it out loud. One of the two. Okay, opening up Brown Girl Dreaming. Looks like we're getting there. Pretty sure most of us are there because there's not that many of us right now. So, once you're here, there's only one small section we have left. And I know a couple of you guys that are on here that have already turned it in. That's fine. You can still type on it. I can still see it. So we're good. But under effective expression right here, there's one last thing that we need to do, which is the evidence log. So we're going to click that one open and fill it out, basically. So it says, before moving on to a new selection, so the next story we're going to go to, we're going to record in our evidence log what we learned from Brown Girl Dreaming. So this is going to be kind of specific to you. I can't give you too many answers on this part, but because it's what you have learned from it, not me. Later, when you guys do your, you guys are going to do like a writing task later in a few weeks about when did a challenge lead to a triumph. So you're going to take Brown Girl Dreaming, think about it, and think, how did Brown Girl Dreaming show you that you can triumph through things? So you're just going to kind of answer the question of, how did Brown Girl Dreaming help you understand, I want to write this, that people can triumph and triumph. People can triumph. I hate that word. Triumph. So you're answering that question first. Maybe about 2 minutes. Just need 1 or 2 sentences really quick that show you how did it help you learn that, basically. And 1 to 2 sentences. How did these poems help you understand that you can triumph in childhood? Give you about 1 more minute. Okay, the next one, text, evidence, or details, is when you have to go back and look through the poems and find sentences or phrases or words that basically answer this question for you. When did a challenge lead to a triumph? So is there a moment in Brown Girl Dreaming that maybe stuck out to you that showed that Woodson faced a challenge and then was able to overcome that challenge? So I'm just going to type find specific details from the poems that answer prompt. If you were to go back and look through the poems, are there any details that showed that Woodson faced a challenge and was able to overcome that challenge? Okay, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do that. You can always go back and finish this up later. No need to rush it right now. Just kind of giving you an outline of what you need to do. Okay, about 1 more minute. This is more for you to use later, so this however much you want to write is going to be helpful for you later. I'm not going to grade it based on how much you wrote and how correct you were. This is kind of an up to you, how you think this story connects to challenges in childhood. Okay, the next two are again kind of you guys. The additional notes or ideas is anything else that that sticks out to you or stuck out to you, or anything else that seems important to you that we didn't talk about. So you can write whatever else just kind of seems important to you from this story that maybe you could use later when we do our writing essay. I think that's next week. So just anything else that you're like, that seemed really important. I'm going to write that down so that I remember it and I don't have to reread the whole poem to find it again. Okay, so just thinking about that one, what sticks out to you? All right, that last notebook right there asks the question, how does this text, so how do these poems, change or add to your thinking? So did these poems change your thoughts about anything, whether it was about the lying that we talked about yesterday? Did it add to your thinking about the challenges of childhood? So things along those lines. Again, this is kind of up to you. Whatever you think about this question, did the poems change anything for you? So did the poems, I'm just going to write what I wrote. Did poems change your thinking on anything? That's kind of it. So did the poems change your thinking about anything?
Am I late?
Who is that? Down? A little bit. We're just in Brown Girl Dreaming and talking about that last section, evidence log, and just answering those questions.
Yeah, I forgot it was a half day today.
That's all right. I forgot to remind you guys yesterday, so.
It's all right.
Yeah, so we're just filling out the evidence log and connecting all of these poems, Brown Girl Dreaming, back to the prompt that we talked about at the very beginning of our unit of when did a challenge lead to a triumph. So childhood being challenging and people succeeding and all of that. So we're just using Brown Girl Dreaming and connecting it to that idea, that question.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a Brown Girl Dreaming test.
We're going to take that in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yep, but start with this.
Okay.
I'll leave it here for now. Let's do about 3 or 4 minutes. If anything, those of you that are kind of showing up now can answer these things later.
Are the social studies the same thing we did yesterday?
Yeah, we're just going to keep working on our project.
Okay, because I turned that in yesterday.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And I might go. I may not be able to make it. We'll see if I make it
to social studies.
Yeah.
If you can't, that's all right because you finished what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Miss Jones, it won't let me.
Remember, sometimes you just have to let it load or reload it because it should eventually.
So what do I do on the first one? Like, what do I write?
On the connection to the prompt one?
No, on the first one right here where it says, how did Brown Girl Dreaming help you understand that people can try? Understand that people.
Thinking about Brown Girl Dreaming and all of the poems, how did it kind of help you understand that people face challenges, but they're able to overcome those challenges?
By not giving up.
There you go. Write that. These questions are kind of your own interpretation of the story. I can't really give you guys these answers. It's kind of what you got out of the story, not me.
Could you scroll to the second one?
Yeah, there's the second one. The second one, you're just going to find some evidence from the poems that support your idea from number one.
Okay.
My notebooks are gray and won't let me.
You probably just have to wait for it to load or reload the page. They will eventually work. Sometimes it just takes a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Would one be where she says the same word over again?
If that's what you'd like to write down.
Okay.
Miss Jones,
Do what?
the words in there.
I can't hear you.
Do we have to write all the words that are in the boxes on yours?
No, you don't know. I was just explaining what each question kind of means. You don't have to write it down. You just need to write your answers.
Okay.
Yep.
Could you scroll down to the third one?
And the third one was just any other ideas, anything else that stuck out to you in the poems that you think could connect to the prompt of facing a challenge and then overcoming it.
Is it still saved if I accidentally clicked it out?
It should. I don't know why it wouldn't. It might not have saved the last one that you were typing in, but
Yeah, I didn't
should.
type in it yet.
Yeah, the other one should be, hopefully.
What's the prompt?
What's the prompt or what's a prompt?
The prompt?
The
Or
prompt, it's up on your screen. If you scroll up, it's right here under performance-based assessment. The prompt is, when did a challenge lead to a triumph? So
what does triumph mean?
that you overcome something. You faced the challenge and you were able to succeed after the challenge.
Does it have to come right from the passage?
No, just any sort of connections you can make to the passage is fine.
Okay.
Maddie, if you didn't, if it didn't teach you anything, you can write that down. You can say, Brown Girl Dreaming didn't really teach me that about childhood, or however you want to write it. But if you didn't really connect to it in that way, that's totally fine. Just write that.
Can you keep it on the fourth one?
Yeah, this is the fourth one down the bottom.
Okay.
That one's just, did the poems change your thinking on anything in general? The discussion yesterday, a lot of you guys changed your minds about some lying things, so stuff like that. Did the poems change your ideas or add to your thinking on any topic that we talked about? Okay, we'll work on this for a few more minutes because I know people are trickling in and they can kind of see it, and then we'll talk about the test. You don't have to take it just yet. We are going to take it today, but I'd like to explain it before you do, so hopefully you haven't started it. But I know there's a few people coming in still.
What are we doing? We're done. Just wait quietly.
Yeah, just sit tight. We're gonna wait maybe 3 or 4 more minutes because I know that it's close to 8:30, so more people might join so that I can explain the test. So yeah, just sit tight for a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh huh.
Anybody else need me to move on the thing? Scroll up or scroll down anywhere? The second one. Yep, the second one is where you go into the passage, all the poems, and find specific details that support your idea from number 1.
How's your class doing? Stop and say hello.
Okay, not you. There's only a few here right now because a lot of them I think forgot that it's morning. Mr. Hernandez is here.
Hey guys. Hey Dallin, what's up, buddy?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Hey Charlie. I was just causing trouble, you know me.
Hey, Mr. Hernandez.
Hey Charlie, how you doing,
Mr.
buddy?
Hernandez.
Yeah.
I got John for deer this year.
Nice. Did you know Mr. Turner's an avid hunter too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, when you get your deer, Miss Jones wants a big old slab of roast.
I do not. No, thank you.
I'll see you guys. Good seeing you.
See ya.
Bye.
Making jokes over here. I don't eat meat. That's why it's funny because I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat at all. So don't bring me any. I'll just give it right back to you and say, here you go. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead and keep working on that for a few minutes. We'll let people trickle into the meat. If you're just showing up, we're working on the final part of Brown Girl Dreaming that we didn't get to, the evidence log, and just answering those last couple of questions based on the prompt. When did a challenge lead to a triumph? So that you're kind of finishing up the Brown Girl Dreaming assignment. I guess I could put on some music so it's not as quiet, huh? It's just early in the morning, and sometimes I just like the silence in the morning, you know?
Nothing like that.
Yeah. All right, there's a little bit of music if we can hear it eventually. I like it being quiet too. It is nice. Also, it's early in the morning, and piano music could like put you guys to sleep for all I know. Some of you guys might be hanging out in your bed and then just like zonk out on me. So you never know.
What does prompt mean again?
Prompt is the question that you're answering. So a prompt is just a question that's being asked of you and you're answering it. Getting some more people logged in. A couple more. Okay, we're gonna wait about 2 more minutes. If you're just showing up, we're in Brown Girl Dreaming, working on our final part, evidence log. Even if you have already turned it in, you can still type in these places. I just check your answers a different way than usual, so I will still see what you have typed. If you turned it in and need to go back and type in it, I can still see your answers. So make sure you're going back in, even if you turned it in.
Do we turn it in after we finish it?
Before you completely turn it in, because the test that you're going to take, you're more than welcome to use the poems while you're doing it. So you don't want to turn it in until after you've taken it.
Okay.
And then you want to go back and make sure that any of the notebook spots are filled up. So those of you that haven't been keeping up very well have kind of a lot of work to do. Those of you that have been keeping up pretty well just need to go in and check to make sure you finished all the separate parts, and then you'll be able to turn it in after. Okay. Do about 2 or 3 more minutes. It's almost 8:30. People will hopefully log in. If not, we'll just talk about the test and brown girl dreaming, and then I'll let you guys test. We getting more people? A couple more people. All right. Let's dive into that. Okay, about 2 more minutes. See if you can finish up the evidence log in that time. And then we'll talk about the test that's up there.
Can you scroll down?
How far?
The second one?
Okay.
What are we doing?
We've been working on the evidence log part, the very final section on brown girl dreaming, but we're gonna move on in just a minute because I think people forgot that it was 8 o'clock on Fridays. But there's a test that we need to take for brown girl dreaming, so we're gonna move on to that. So if you go back and do the evidence log later, you can do it later too.
Miss Jones.
Yep.
On the second one on the first part that we did, not the third, one of the first parts where you put the notes in and you annotate it.
Mhm.
I've typed it in there a lot, but it doesn't save it.
Do you know what the section is called?
It's I think it's, let me look real quick. It's on first read.
First read. It just won't save that part.
Yeah, it won't save it for me.
Okay, that's all right. It'll be okay.
It'll save some of it. Just it'll save like half of it, but not all of it. for some
Okay,
reason.
that's all right. I can still see that you've done it, and I know that you've attempted to do it. It's just not saving, so you're good.
Okay.
All right. Got a few more people. So here's what we're gonna do. For those of you that were not here, if you look at my screen, we've been working on in the final section. So if you're looking at Brown Girl Dreaming without anything open, we were working on effective expression, and then the very last section, evidence log. That's just where you're thinking about Brown Girl Dreaming altogether and how it connects to the prompt, when did a challenge lead to a triumph? So you're just filling out these boxes. If you go back and watch the first 5 minutes of this video later, I kind of explain what goes in each notebook, but this will be a part that you do need to probably go back and do on your own if you missed it. But it's only 4 questions, so it's not too much. And these are a lot of your thoughts and ideas. I didn't really answer these questions. I just kind of helped explain the questions, but this is your idea of how Brown Girl Dreaming connects to the prompt, when did a challenge lead to a triumph? So you might probably have to go back and do those on your own. Sound good? If you didn't finish them. Now, while we were here, if you're, again, looking at mine, I would very much suggest that you keep the Brown Girl Dreaming poems open. Don't close them yet. The test that you're going to take, you are more than welcome to use the poems as much as you need. You can look back through all of the questions and everything that we've answered, which if you've been keeping up, will probably help you. If you have not been keeping up and filling these out, this might be a bit of a challenge for you, but there's a reason we do things in class. So it's kind of on you if you weren't responsible in finishing the parts that I asked you to do or doing them with us. But what we're going to do while we were talking, we had an assignment post on Google Classroom called Brown Girl Dreaming Test. I'd like you guys to stay on while you take it, and it is a test. So I obviously can't force it, but I would very much like it if you did this on your own without the help of anybody at home, just so I can see how you guys did overall on the Brown Girl Dreaming units, like this section of the units. We spent a solid 3 weeks on it and talked a lot about it. And most of you guys were here for most of those sessions. Even if you weren't writing things down, you were still here to listen to me talk over and over and over about it. So for the rest of today, your goal is going to be to take this test. So when you open it up and it takes you there, once it goes, hang on. Let me preview it. Preview it. So it should open right up for you. You hit start, and there's 20 questions total. It's going to ask about your comprehension on it. So if you remember and can tell me the details of the story, it's going to ask you to read some lines from the poems and answer questions based off those. There's going to be some sentence corrections. So it's kind of everything that we've done in the past 3 weeks all lumped into one test. And it is a grade. So I want you guys to take your time, do your best on it. It's 20 questions. You can have Brown Girl Dreaming open in one tab, the test open in another one. We did a few things on Google Classroom, like the writing to sources, the speaking and listening. They are more than welcome to go listen to. So you can use any resources that we have done or that I've given to you, except for the other people in the class or people at home. So you can look through anything you'd like to that we've done. Just try and do it all on your own. That makes sense? It's like a test if you were taking a test in class. I just can't be there saying, hey, don't talk to your friends. But that's going to be your goal for today, is to take that test. The other goal, if you finish and you have time, is to finish Brown Girl Dreaming, essentially. Most of you guys, okay, most is an overstatement. About half of you guys have been keeping up and filling out every section as we've gone along. So you won't have too much to catch up on. But for those of you that have not been filling out the notebooks as we go, you kind of have a lot of work to do. This is due on Sunday night at 11:59, and if it's not done, you're going to have to go back and finish it. Like, there's no way around it. If you don't do it, you don't get the grades. So you need to go back and do all these things. We did videos on them. All the videos are in, not PowerSchool, what's it called? Schoology, if you need to go back and watch certain ones. But all of the sections on this are due at 11:59 on Sunday night. Capiche? Do we see that? Okay. I am going to send you guys a list of all, like, your work, like the work that you're missing. And I specifically say, like, in Brown Girl Dreaming, you are missing this section, and this section, or however many you're missing. So when you get that message on Schoology, you just have to go directly to those sections and finish those ones, not like check every single one. But once you have finished all of the parts of Brown Girl Dreaming, none of the notebooks are blank, you can click turn in and I will be able to look it all over. If you've already turned it in, I can still see your answers. So you can still go in and type on all of the notebooks and I can still see it. Make sense? Any questions about that or what we're doing for today? Okay, are we good? Alrighty. So go ahead and stay on. I want you guys to at least stay on until 9 o'clock, the time that we're supposed to be here anyway, taking that test. So you'll open up the assignment on Google Classroom. You can use whatever resources you need to. Ask questions. I might answer some, I might not, depending on what your question is. So that's your guys' task for the rest of ELA today. And we'll have math at 9:30. It's a half day. Things are different today. 9:30 is when math is. Okay? Go ahead and get working on that.